After a season sailing the wild edges of Alaska, we're now pushing into the remote, untamed coastline of Canada's north.
And we are now making our way down the wild west coast of Canada,
exploring rugged islands.
You can loosely throw around the word tropical.
And encountering their most elusive inhabitants.
Just landed on the beach and immediately are seeing wolf tracks. Just heard a pack of wolves howling in the woods.
We are not the only sailboat out here.
For this leg of the adventure, we're joined by our new friends on SV Centane.
They are a big aluminum expedition boat. They came through the Northwest Passage last year with tons of stories, super inspiring. We are all trying to head in the same direction here.
Very clearly, low-key racing.
What's next for us? Some bigger adventures, maybe at higher latitudes.
We're so excited to share this next stretch of the journey with you, especially what comes next.
Absolutely beautiful sailing today. We've got a light breeze and we are gliding along on glassy water at about 4.5 knots.
We are heading downwind. It's a beautiful Spinnaker day today. Summer has well and truly settled in here in BC and it is sunny. And today we're cruising down Principe Channel. We've got the big kite up, it's just a gentle breeze behind us. And I guess technically we are racing today. We are not the only sailboat out here, and if there is another sailboat under sail, then technically it is a race. Our friends over on Satan, who we met up in Prince Rupert, we've been cruising with them for the last couple of days, but they're just out in front of us, unfortunately, which makes us coming second. They have their Spinnaker up, we have our Spinnaker up, and we are all trying to head in the same direction here. They're really cool. They are a big aluminum expedition boat, little family. They came through the Northwest Passage last year, telling us tons of stories, super inspiring. So yeah, they got a beautiful boat as well. So only things that Alison and I can dream about at this point, but maybe one day.
Absolutely beautiful day of sailing out here today. We spent the last few months sailing around Southeast Alaska and we are now making our way down the wild west coast of Canada.
We're working our way down towards Campania. Probably won't get there today, but maybe tomorrow because there's a gorgeous white sandy beach down there.
Off the remote coast of British Columbia lies Campania Island, a sanctuary of northern wilderness.
You can loosely throw around the word tropical.
Pristine white sand beaches stretch along its shores.
It's such a novel experience for us here in BC to actually have a sandy beach, so they are BC's best sandy beaches.
Apparently, there are lots of wolves on this island, so maybe we'll be lucky enough to spot one of these elusive creatures. We've heard so much about Campania Island and we're really stoked to see it.
Centurion looks beautiful under Spinnaker. She's ripping along, absolutely gorgeous boat. Sails trimmed very well. not bobbing and weaving like we are. I think she weighs like 4 or 5 times as much as our boat does. Absolutely beautiful to see 2 sailboats under Spinnaker cruising along together. And I guess they might win this race, unfortunately, but next time Saint-Jean will get you.
Still hope for us. The race is not yet over. The wind is picking up though, so we might have to douse the Spinnaker so that we're not completely overpowered.
Not quite ready to douse our competitive spirit, we pushed you into to her limits. Her hull slicing through the water at max speed.
Typical summer northwesterly fashion. Out here the wind is meant to pick up this afternoon, usually intensifies after midday, so we're right on schedule here.
The wind was building, and with the drone in the air, we realized we were pretty overpowered.
Boat's pretty powered up. It's wobbling to and fro, kind of doing little S-curves, so keeping the course whilst also staring at the drone screen, trying to fly the camera around, while Al hangs off the side of the boat trying to catch it. Just a lot going on at once.
Catching the drone is difficult at the best of times, so this was going to be a sketchy retrieval.
That was a pretty hectic drone retrieval. We had picked up quite a bit of speed there as the drone was in the air, and it was really tough to steer the boat while flying the drone. I was hanging over the side when James was trying to bring in the drone to match the speed of the boat, which was going over 6 knots, and then hold it steady for a millisecond so that I could swoop it up with the net. We nearly botched it. Just like the drone hit the rim of the net, and so I reached down, extended a little bit, and then got it into the net, and we were both like, oh! That was such a close one.
Yeah, my God. Whew. Anxiety relieved. Like, that's terrifying to watch that drone bounce off the rim of the net.
Feeling really good that Jerome is back on board, safe and sound.
If you like that one, leave us a comment down below and like the video, and if you haven't already, subscribe, why don't you? Well, that was by far the roughest Spinnaker takedown we've done to date. It's actually really hard to wrench down because we don't have a sock or anything, so basically you just have to like go to the front of the boat, and as the halyard's getting let down, you just have to kind of like collect it like a squirrel shoving nuts into its mouth. Like just like, you know, try to get it down as quickly as you can.
We were scrambling though to hold course while James was up at the front trying to bring in the sail before it hit the water.
Meanwhile, like it's still got wind in it and it's trying to like pull you off the front of the boat, and you can't hear anything because it's just flapping around your ears. And oh man, that was very very challenging, that one.
Another ounce of hecticness there. The boat was really powered up under the Spinnaker.
I was so frantic about trying to get the Spinnaker down because the boat was like more or less slowly becoming out of control. It was doing S-bends and it was rolling a hell of a lot. It would catch the wind on one side and roll, and then catch the other side and then roll the other way, which I think is like the prelude to like doing a Chinese jibe. When you're overpowered with a Spinnaker, that starts happening before you kind of like then lose control. Yeah. That was pretty frantic. We're now set up to go wing on wing. We've got the main back up, we've got the jib out, and that's much easier to handle because you can reduce the sails quite a lot easier than trying to like just have this giant kite out. So back cruising, we're doing 5.5, 6 knots still, so we're making great progress. But we're being left in the dust by our racing partner, so that's a bit of a shame. They're a little quicker with their sock takedown, and you know, I think they're better set up for sailing than we are. Oh well, then the brakes, at least we got the drone and we got the Spinnaker down, so, you know, call that a success story. channel. Like, oh, dude.
Yeah.
We're just coming past the entrance of another channel, and it looks like the currents are just kind of like converging and doing something really weird because the sea is really, really confused, and there's like a bazillion logs all of a sudden just hanging out in this one spot that are just getting churned around and collected here. So pretty nuts. We put the head sail away real quick just to slow the boat down and have a bit more control while we dodge our way through this lumber yard.
That's huge.
I'm gonna try to
Jump
go
ahead. Wow. There are some massive logs out here, like full-on trees. Could really cause some damage. Could really mess up the hull.
With the hazards behind us, we let the head sail fly and slipped back into the rhythm of the wind.
Had all the supplies for tacos, so whipped up a quick pico de gallo with some corn, cilantro, onions, tomatoes, limes, refried black beans, and some corn tortillas that needed to be used up.
Really good. We're taking turns at the helm to keep course so that we can catch up with our friends whilst we're also having tacos. So it's like one taco switch on the helm and then one taco switch.
This looks like poo. But I had beans stuck on my pants for that, like, the last 10 minutes of standing. It's hilarious.
That way, neither of us like is in competition for eating first, and we both get to enjoy the tacos simultaneously. We're done about 35 nautical miles going south today. We're down in Principe Channel, about halfway down Banks Island, so making really good progress going south today.
The wind is starting to diminish a little bit. We're just taking it on the beam right now, so we're still going a bit quick, but we're thinking of pulling into an anchorage just off of Principe Channel called Hodgson Cove.
Bit of a tricky one to get into, bit of a piloting challenge because you got to basically go thread the needle through like 2 submerged rocks.
But once inside, it's pretty protected, and apparently there are wolves. So looking forward to that. They are heading in there shortly. They're gonna let us know how it goes. If it checks out, then we will follow them in and have a nice night on anchor, hopefully listening to the wolves.
Well, it's not too bad. We're 1.5 miles behind Centane, and I reckon that's actually pretty bloody good for, you know, a Catalina 30 racing a 40-foot aluminum boat. So I think we did quite well, all things considered. If we had worked out a handicap, we might have even come out on top.
Well, Centane is threading the needle through the 2 submerged rocks now. I think all is well.
Yeah, it looks pretty successful. They're in.
Awesome.
Just got to try to line up our landmarks here so that we can follow them through.
I see one of the rocks here. I was just up at the bow, keeping an eye out. I did see the big rock to starboard. It's completely submerged, but you can see it. Didn't see the rock off to port, but we're in the bay now, safe and sound. It's beautiful in here. It's really warm, actually. Love that. Beautiful trees lining the shore, and just an overall peaceful, pristine anchorage. So we're gonna find a place to drop the hook. Apparently the east side of the bay is a little bit more shallow, otherwise it's pretty deep. So we'll go scout out over there and see if we can find a place to plant the hook.
After scouting the bay, we cozied up next to our pals on Centane, which is the proper way to pronounce their vessel name. Sorry for butchering it earlier there, guys. If Uinta had a personality, and some would say she does, she'd be frothing at the thought of being tied up beside this beautiful expedition vessel. A dream she carries deep in her soul, one of open horizons, long passages, and waters yet to explore. We recounted the highs and dramas of the day and enjoyed a few sundowners, celebrating a race win by our new pals in this most stunning anchorage.
We had a really peaceful night on anchor in this cove, not a breath of wind, really clear sky. Didn't hear the wolves that everybody raves about, but otherwise it was really, really peaceful. There's not a lot of places to stretch your legs in this anchorage, and we're all feeling a little bit restless. There is a beautiful white sandy beach just 30 nautical miles from here, so the goal for today is to get down to that beach, get off the ships, and enjoy a nice sunny day on the beach.
Untied from our friends on Centane, Kara and John and Dean. Absolutely super cool guys. But now we're just heading out of the bay here. We got to run the labyrinth of rocks again, dodge between these two boulders to get back out. John went on a bit of a reconnaissance mission earlier and tells us that there's a little bit of wind starting to form out there between Pitt Island and Banks. So we're going to head out, put the sails up and see if we can't make it further down the coast, heading down to Campania Island. There's meant to be a really nice sandy beach down there, which is very excited to go and see. So yeah, let's get underway.
We're back out into the channel, we've got the sails up, and we are absolutely careening along, hitting upwards of 6 knots, average of 5.5, and we are heading downwind into Principe Channel towards Campania Island. Campania Island is a pretty popular destination on the west coast for cruisers, of like the 10 cruisers that come by here in the month of August. but everybody wants to go check out the white sand beaches because that is such a novelty for the Canadian coastline. I mean, normally we have like pebbly beaches and things like that, but not white sand. And today it's actually beautiful and sunny, which is also a rarity. So yeah, making a beeline for the beach. So fun to be buddy boating with Santain. They look absolutely magical with those tan sails, aluminum hull, pretty snazzy. We can only dream, maybe one day in the future.
We bought Uinta knowing she wouldn't be our forever boat. Back in 2020, we knew absolutely nothing about sailing. We learned everything we know from pulling her sheets.
Yeah, I mean, there was a time in my life I just thought they went on the bed.
Every tack, every squall, every storm on anchor. She was our teacher, our challenge, and our home. Our goal with her was simple, to make it to Alaska and back. And now with that journey over, we can't help but wonder, what comes next?
Al and I have been talking endlessly recently about what's next for us. Now that we've done Alaska, we are kind of looking towards starting to think about what our next boat might be. I think, you know, the Catalina 30 Uinta is a fantastic boat for the inside passage, but she is not an offshore blue water boat. And we're starting to think that maybe we might want to go do some bigger adventures, maybe at higher latitudes. So yeah, let us know.
We might not yet know exactly what comes next, but whatever it is, we're looking forward to it. There's something exhilarating about the unknown, that endless horizon of possibility. If the last few years have taught us anything, it's that we've got a knack for off-the-beaten-path adventures. And now our dreams are growing towards higher latitudes, from the wild coasts of South America to the rugged waters of the North Sea. We'll need a more capable vessel to take us there. A new chapter we can't wait to begin.
Yeah, they're really stuck back there.
Yeah.
See you guys.
It's one of those days where the sailing conditions didn't quite align. Like the current this morning was in our favor, but now it's turned against us when the wind has picked up to be going downwind. So we're now got wind pushing us down against the current, pushing us back up. And it appears that poor Santain has got caught in the current close to shore and we're just ripped by them. So maybe today's race goes to us.
Okay, we still got 30 miles.
We still got 30 miles to go, but like, you know, we're off to a strong start. In second place now, Santain zoomed past us. They've got like dual poles. They have all the sails poled out and they're just looking absolutely fabulous. Our pole sadly doesn't actually extend from the mast and make the clue go out all the way. So I've rigged up a super janky pole setup here with the pole mounted down on the T-track. The sheet's kind of like triangulating the sail to hold it down, to keep the clue as far out as we can, to capture as much wind as possible. And believe it or not, I think you can see Santain. We're gaining on them. That's where they are. They're just under the clue. They look way more professional than we do. We look super janky, but
They're looking worried right now.
we're gaining, and that's all that matters.
Nice work, James. But sail changes are being made because it looks like now we can actually go downwind instead of wing on wing. I mean, it's downwind. Now we can like reach. I think they're setting up to reach. They might get an advantage on us now. I love how we're all being super low-key competitive. Like there was no racing discussed, but we're all very clearly low-key racing.
Well, it was a riveting race. Uinta came out of the gate strong, surging ahead, but Santain made a pretty impressive comeback. For a while there, we were neck and neck. Then, as the wind filled in, they soared off downwind, disappearing into the sunset. By now, the breeze had well and truly died, and both boats were under power, cruising towards the breathtaking shores of Campania Island.
We're just reaching Campania Island and McMicking Inlet, and it is absolutely epic. The mountains here are so much more rugged than the last couple of 100 miles coming down from Prince Rupert, and at the base of these granite mountains is beautiful white sand. So epic. Really stoked about this anchorage. We've sort of heard through the grapevine that this is the one to see on the coast, and we're really stoked to finally be here.
We can't wait to share this wild place with you in the next video.
We are just putting the dinghy in the water and gonna head to the beach. We just landed on the beach and immediately are seeing wolf tracks. They are huge, like actually the size of my hand. It's crazy. We just heard a pack of wolves howling in the woods. One of the craziest things I think I've ever experienced. This is definitely one of our favorite stops thus far.
The southerly moving through in a few days, so we might just have to hunker down here until it passes.
Really nasty out. It's probably one of our worst times on anchor ever.
Hey guys, just popping in here from the future to say a huge thank you to everyone who supported our first ever merch launch. We are doing a little model here for you now because we just got back from a photo shoot on the beach, which was equal parts hilarious and awkward. In all seriousness though, we are so happy with how these turned out. The fit and the feel, they're super soft, and we think Kate really nailed the design.
Having sailed the route herself, she really got the mountains, the fjords, the wind blowing through it, the sea creatures, the wildlife. I think it encapsulates everything about the PNW that we absolutely love.
If you're keen to support the project, head on over to our online shop. We've got a couple different colors and styles available, t-shirts, long sleeves, and a handy tote. Each purchase supports our productions as well as Kate's art, keeping the spirit of adventure and art alive. So snag yourself a piece, head on over to the online shop, link in the description below. Huge thank you for watching. Biggest thanks to our patrons for supporting the continued production of these videos. We couldn't do it without you. Thank you so much, and we'll see you all next time.
Cheers, guys.